members, and welcome to GPL 360 episode 6, the second edition of our finals.
Yep. Matt,
we'll start off with the men's, the first semi-final between the Moondogs and Norfolk and Good. Norfolk and Good had lost the week before, but they finished in fourth, so they had their double chance.
Yep.
And the Moondogs finished the season in 9th place and had a surprising win last week, and they've done it again, Matt. They've beaten Norfolk and Good by 2 points.
Giant killers.
Who would have thought?
Who would have? We picked them though. We did pick them.
Yeah,
last
we did.
week.
Actually, no, we did. The momentum side.
Yep.
Terry Ward, 36 points. Kent Robinson, 34. Rob Kennedy, 34. Chris Hansen, 33. For Norfolk and Good, Chris Wong, 35. Dave O'Callaghan, 34. Dan Iera, 33. And Tim Doohan, 33. So, bad luck, Norfolk and Good, and good luck to
victory.
And good luck to the Moondogs.
Yep. In the other match, semi-final 2, we had Motley Q, who just snuck into the finals versus one of the favourites going into the final season, the latecomers, in another shock.
Big week in GPL.
Big week in GPL. The Motley Q 138 got over the latecomers 132. So we had the 2 top 4 sides going out in straight sets.
You don't say that too often, Matt.
No. Motley Q, Paul Cranich led the way with 36 points. Russell Burton 35. Michael Pickering, the president, 34, and Andrew Williams with 33. The latecomers, Tim Pitt 36, Ray Catmull 33, John Evans 32. Steve Kay and Ken Doggett, 31, will be ruining a unsuccessful season.
After finishing the season in third, 9 wins and 4 losses, you would have thought they would have gone deeper into August, we'll say, Matt. And very disappointing.
Yeah, my pick was them and the Guzzlers playing off in the grand final, which will not happen now.
No. And we'll get to the Guzzlers soon.
Yep.
First prelim final next Wednesday. We have Rat Pack taking on Motley Q. We've spoken about Rat Pack in previous weeks, and we think they'll most likely go the way. We need Graham Craig to probably lift as captain. We've kind of been on and off Graham all season, but we expect a big game from him.
Time to shine.
Time to shine. Brian Fuge, Bill Frost, Trevor Rush, Peter Gibbett. Haven't seen his name.
No.
Does he even play on Wednesdays?
Possibly been away for 6 months.
Yeah, so that doesn't help them. Motley Q, Michael Pickering's been in great form of late, the Prez.
Yep.
Roger Palazzo won a monthly medal not too long ago.
Yep.
Ian Tinley, haven't read out Ian Tinley's name too often, so probably need him to lift. But I reckon Rat Pack still just.
Yep. I think Peter Gibbett will lift this week.
Turn up,
lift. Be the top scorer along with Graham Craig and the Rat Pack for me as well.
That's a big call.
Yep.
Big call.
Yep. Moving on to Prelim 2, we have the Giant Killers, the Moondogs, versus the team I picked from the start of the season, the Guzzlers. Representing the Moondogs, we have Ray Kennedy, Chris Hansen, Kent Robertson, John Carroll, Terry Ward, Levi Brett, Paul Williams, and Robert Jackson. Representing the Guzzlers, we have Sam Cannellan, Rick Gold, Terry Poulton, Mark Hanger, John Nelson, Ed Frost, Phil Baker, and Chris Warren. Big match.
The Guzzlers don't have very high opinions of the Moondogs.
No.
And they're quite vocal in their, their lack of quality in their side. So you hate to see the Moondogs continue their amazing streak, Matt. What do you reckon?
The Guzzlers don't really have a high opinion of any other side other than themselves. So
very true.
The arrogance could go one or two ways. They could lift and go through, or they could fall in a screaming heap.
Blow up in their faces.
Yep.
To tell you the truth, Matt, I wouldn't mind seeing. Because I'd love to see them just implode from within.
Well, I'm putting the acid this week for the Moondogs on Chris Hansen. I think Chris will lift and have a big score.
Excellent.
And I'm putting the acid squarely on Rick Gold.
Rick Gold. I was waiting for
the
John
Guzzlers. John Nelson also needs to lift, but we put it on him every week. So I think it's only fair that we move it around. And Rick Gold, the microscope will be on you this week. Although they've had a fairy tale, the Moondogs, I think the Guzzlers are just going to be too good and get through to the grand final to play the Rat Pack.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'll stick with the Moondogs just because I love an underdog, so love to see the Moondogs get up.
Yep.
That wraps up the men. Good luck to all the men competing in the prelim next week, and we'll move on to the women who had their semi-finals on Tuesday. Now, brings me great sadness, Matt, as we all know that I've been on hit and miss all season, and for some stupid reason I decided to change my team last week. I switched to the QTs.
Serves him right for jumping on.
Yeah, who had won 5 in a row, and they've fallen to hit and miss by 8 points. So well done to hit and miss. Wendy Reynolds with 30, Bev Murray 30, Leonie Barnes 29, and Meredith Dory and Ann Turner had 26. I will say the conditions were quite poor, which would obviously represent some scoring. Adeline Roberts for the QTs did a best of 29, Deg Hume had 28, and Jenny Cribbies and Libby Forrest both had 25 points. One member during the week did say to me, why on earth have you switched to the QTs? Because it contains my wife and my sister-in-law. He will remain nameless.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, no worries, Greg. And yes, well done to hit and miss, and good luck to them in the final. Matt, do you want to take us for the next match?
Match 2, we had the Swingers versus the Early Birds in quality final. The Swingers 118 got over the top of the Early Birds to set up a 1 versus 2 grand final, which is what we were talking about prior to the final starting. The Swingers, Libby Day, ever consistent with 31, Heather Moot 31, Prue Moody 29, and Di Grail with 27. The Early Birds, who are unlucky not to get the job done, Joe Warmole with 31, Lou Willahan with 30, Hilary Hodgetts 28, and Joe Ryan and Jan Hammond with 27. So I'm going to stick with my pre-season pick with the Swingers over hit and miss in the grand final in a real close one.
I reckon it'll go down to the wire, and just like any mug punter, I'll go back on hit and miss again.
Yeah. I'm assuming you won't be invited to their after grand final party.
No, definitely not. I think Bev Murray has fixed her putting issues. I think Bev will have a big score, and I also reckon Meredith Dory. She has had some lessons with the new coach Brian, and I reckon she's just about to peak. Have you got any players of interest from the Swingers, Matt?
I'm going to go the Swingers. I think Heather Moot is going to have a breakout game in the grand final. Tom Hawkins like, and have sort of 38.
38 points.
Yeah.
No pressure, Heather.
No pressure, and I think the others will stay consistent. For hit and miss, Wendy Reynolds, I think, is going to be the person to watch for hit and miss.
Okay, she top scored in the semi.
She did. I think she's in good form. I think she's playing well, and with Bev Murray, ever consistent, will have the mid-30 scores as well. But I don't think it'll be enough to get over the Swingers.
Okay, well, it should be a super grand final in 2 weeks' time. That wraps up this week's edition, and good luck to the men next Wednesday.